what's up everybody? Welcome back. Today we are outside because it is a gorgeous day and it's so nice out, so I thought what better day than today to film outside. So I mentioned it in a past video just very briefly, but I am an employee of Starbucks. I work there, I'm a barista, I love my job, and a lot of people have some interesting questions and ask their baristas interesting questions. So I went to the interweb and I found some things that people ask their baristas and also some questions that people have about Starbucks baristas. So I have my notebook right here, got my list of 10, and we're just gonna go down the list as to some annoying questions and some questions that people have. And because today we're talking about coffee, I thought this shirt is perfect. It's Luke's Diner from Gilmore Girls. It's a show where the girls are obsessed with coffee, so I thought that was just like a fun little thing for me to wear today. Can you make me blank? It's off of the secret menu. As a Starbucks barista, we are not required to memorize the drinks off of the secret menu. It's a secret menu for a reason. If you come in and you have the recipe for whatever it is, we are more than happy to make it. But if you just say, can I get, geez, I don't even know. Here's one that I do know, but if you just go, can I get a cotton candy frappuccino? That doesn't mean anything. You have to say, can I get a vanilla bean frappuccino with raspberry in it? So it's something that, you know, that's just one that I happen to know. But whatever the secret menu drink is, we don't know them. But if you have a recipe, we will be more than happy to make them for you. Why are your drinks so expensive? I don't know, they're expensive for me too. I drink Starbucks. So it's, you know, I didn't make up how much everything costs. So that's not something you should ask an employee why whatever it is costs is so much. Like, it's not, they didn't come up with the pricing, they didn't come up with it, they just work there. So don't get mad at someone when something is expensive. It's not their fault. Kind of going along with the same thing, when someone asks, why are you charging me for vanilla in my latte or whatever the flavor is? Well, it's an add-on, and that's what add-ons are. So when you go to Starbucks and you order your drink, if you order a latte, there's a set price. A latte comes with espresso and milk, and that's it. You can get hot or iced. Price is still the same, but if you want to add vanilla to it, that's cost extra. Right now I think it's 50 cents, but you know, prices change all the time. And again, the workers didn't come up with the pricing. That's what we're given also. So don't get mad at someone for charging you what they're supposed to be charging you. Why aren't your cup sizes small, medium, and large? Once again, we work for the company. We did not come up with the sizing. Whether I agree with you or not that the sizing is named strangely, that's what it is. So you don't have to order it. If you want a small, you don't have to say tall. If you say a small coffee, we know what that means. But also, something that happens all the time is, especially through the drive-thru, if you say, I want a small latte, and you go, okay, a tall latte, and then don't argue with the person working, don't argue with the cashier saying a tall latte. That's what it's called at Starbucks. If you're coming to Starbucks and you say you want a small whatever or a medium whatever, and they respond with a tall or a grande, that's what that sizing is. So you don't need to argue with them. They understand that. Probably the worst thing you could ask a barista is, can you go faster? We're not going slow just to make your life miserable. I get it, I need coffee to function too, but when you are standing in a line of people, that means they have drinks too. Sometimes when there's one barista making all the drinks for both cafe and drive. That's a lot of drinks, that's a lot of stuff coming at you, and we're trained to do well on it. So don't ask someone to go faster. They're doing the best that they can, and just be understanding. Sometimes if it is taking a really long time, you can just be nice about it and check in and say, hey, I ordered this a little while ago, where are you on it? And they will be nice enough and, you know, graciously say, oh, I'm making it next, or maybe it didn't come through, or they lost the ticket, or whatever happened, and they'll say, I'm so sorry, I'll make it for you right now. Try and be understanding with employees because they're doing their best. A question that I get asked all the time is, can I get a pumpkin spice latte? I feel like by now everyone should know that the pumpkin spice lattes are only in season in the fall. I mean, how else are we gonna know that the fall season has started if the pumpkin spice lattes are not coming out right now? If they're all year, how will we know? But again, it's not the baristas or the workers that make the rules of what drinks are at what time. You know, I don't know why they're not year-round, but I think that having seasonal drinks makes it special, and even though it's insanely popular, I think that if it was year-round, it wouldn't get ordered as much, because when it's just a limited edition thing, or like it's out for a small period of time, more people are gonna get it. What's your favorite thing about working at Starbucks? My favorite thing about working at Starbucks is probably the free drinks. I don't get them all the time. It's when you work a shift, you get free drinks, and it's really nice, especially for someone who lives off of coffee and who's a college student and can't afford much. Another thing that's really, really nice is you get one item of food per shift, and that's really great too, especially if I'm working a morning shift and then I have classes for the rest of the day. It's really nice to be able to go to work, get my coffee, get some breakfast, and then head off to school. Or if I'm not hungry, it's nice to be able to grab something to have later, because again, college student working off a budget, so it's nice to be able to get some free food every once in a while. I also really love being able to just talk to people every day. Like, having that connection with a person is really nice, and I also really love how they are flexible with my schedule for school. Why do Starbucks baristas hate making frappuccinos? And the answer to that is because frappuccinos take a really long time. You have your stickers are coming out of one place, which is in front of the espresso machines. You have your whole setup in front of you at the espresso machines, and then you have to take all your stuff or stop what you're doing and go to a completely different section of the store to start making the frappuccinos. And then as you're doing that, more tickets are coming out. You're not making the 2 to 3 drinks at a time that you're supposed to be making, and then you kind of just get behind schedule. It's really nice when there's someone working the cold bar, working the frappuccino. When that's happening, I actually really love being on Frappuccino bar, just because it kind of takes you a little bit out of the way of everything, and you're kind of just having your one thing. This is what you got. And it's kind of nice when it's that, but when you're doing hot bar and cold bar, it can be a lot, and yeah, it's not fun. What drink is the easiest to make? I mean, I think that one's kind of obvious in some sense, is just brewed coffee. If you say, can I get a medium coffee? Can I get a grande coffee? And all you do is grab the cup and turn around and push the little thing and get the coffee out. That's probably the easiest drink to make. But as far as being at like the hot bar, cold bar, making a drink, I think the easiest drink to make is probably an iced chai tea latte, because you just do the pumps of chai in there, and then you pour in the milk and you pour in the ice, and that's it. It's super simple. It's probably the easiest one to make, and I always love seeing that when I have so many tickets to make. I really love this question. It is, do people eat the display food? And the answer to that is it depends on what store you're working at, it depends on what store it is, but sometimes, yeah. I know both of the stores that I've worked at, we use the display food when we run out. So if we're out of something, we will ask them and say, we have it in our display case, do you want that? Because some people will say, oh no. The way that the display case works is we put the food in there the morning of. So it's not like it's sitting there for days. Sometimes, again, depending on the store, sandwiches will just stay there because those take up a lot of time in the morning to make. So those sometimes will sit there for a couple days. And even if we do make the sandwiches morning of, that is not something that we give to customers. Another thing is at the end of the night, again, depending on what Starbucks it is, they pack up all the display food and give it out to shelters, which I really love. I think that's a really amazing thing to do. I've worked at a store where unfortunately that is not the case, and sometimes I will take the food out of the display case and pack it up, and especially where I go to school, the town that I was working at the Starbucks in, unfortunately there's a lot of poverty, and there were quite a few homeless people who would be in that parking lot or sitting outside of our store, and I would, put it in my refrigerator and save it for the next morning because I know they'll be there in the morning, or if I see them, I'll give it to them or I'll take it to a shelter, because I don't think it's fair to throw out that food. I don't think it's very wasteful. There's people that could use it. So you work for Starbucks and your store throws food out at the end of the night, I encourage you to take that food and bring it to shelters or give it to people who need it, because that is just some random acts of kindness that are wonderful to do and super easy for you, and I highly encourage that. So that's it for today's video. Those were the 10 questions that I found on the interweb of questions that are frequently asked to Starbucks employees, which I can attest for. I get asked that quite often, and also some questions that people had for the employees. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!